decisions to move our nation forward, Honorable Speaker. That, as he has always said, it is indeed true that it is possible within our lifetime to be able to transition this country and our economy from a third world country to a first world country, Honorable Speaker. And at least it's good I had, Honorable Speaker, over the weekend, those who have no agenda, those who have no policies to expound to the people of Kenya, those who speak boldly in funerals over the weekends, Honorable Speaker, at least had content this weekend. But I was waiting to hear, since the president has intent and the will and the determination to move our country from being a third world to a first world country, and he clearly stipulated what we need to do and called on us as the House of Representatives to work with him and work with the Kenyan people as we move our country from the third to the first world, Honorable Speaker. And he was clear in his plan, Honorable Speaker, including the setting up of the infrastructure fund and how we will innovatively fund that infrastructure fund to be able to leverage on it to raise more capital to roll out development projects that will indeed transition our country from a third to a first world, whether it is in the provision of water, for irrigation, to ensure that we are producing adequate food for our country and even be able to export food from our country, whether it is in the rollout of dual carriage roads, whether it's from Rironi to Mau Summit, from Marua, all the way to Nanyuki, Isiolo, whether it is the Maimahiu road to enable those people who are going to Narok, like the Honorable Rebecca Tongei, to be able to commute from Narok to Nairobi in record time, and be able to move goods and services around our country, Honorable Speaker. That speech, Honorable Speaker, you could tell the clarity of mind that the President has on what he intends to do and what he's calling on us as a country to work with him and work with each other shoulder by shoulder to achieve. But the high priests of eternal pessimism, Honorable Speaker, in funerals and other social gatherings around the weekend, around the country, well, they are saying, oh, we cannot move the country to a third world, from a third world economy to a first world economy. And they have no idea on what needs to be done. How I wish these high priests of eternal pessimism, as shameless as they are, Honorable Speaker, they would at least give an alternative ideas on what needs to be done. Because it is easier to speak and criticize, but it is better to criticize and offer an alternative. And indeed, those in the opposition, Honorable Speaker, you pride yourselves that you are the government in waiting. You cannot be a government in waiting by just shouting only 3 words: one term, Kasongo, and must go, and nothing beyond that. And when they are challenged, Honorable Speaker, and they are told you have no agenda, you have no plan, and indeed even the people of Kenya at times say you have no brains to be able to articulate to Kenyans what you need to do for them. They take offense when it is Kenyans who are saying it. I saw the other day people in Ukambani, and Honorable CNN was there, in Kitui. The public saying indeed these people have no brains to be able to articulate ideas of how to move the country forward, Honorable Speaker. But they have a very quick mind and quick mouths to run their mouths and criticize and sell negativity and say how well it cannot be achieved. But you are not telling us, if you had the opportunity, what would you do? What is the alternative, Honorable Speaker? I want to invite members of this House and indeed the country to work with President William Ruto in walking the talk and doing what we need to do, Honorable Speaker. He has called on us to support the setup of the infrastructure fund, and I must, in a very special way, Honorable Speaker, as a leader of majority in this House, also express my thanks to the House and to all the members of this House who have been positive, who have been bold and courageous to make the right decisions at the right time for this country, Honorable Speaker. It is indeed true, Honorable Speaker, that those who 3 years ago were saying that if we set up the housing fund, there is not a single house that will be built in this country, are the same people today who are asking, how can I be able to buy an affordable housing or social housing or market rate housing unit for my family? But, Honorable Speaker, that also speaks volumes to the tragedy that we face as a country today because of leadership that misleads its people, Honorable Speaker. And indeed, it is true that the greatest tragedy we have had in this country is the tragedy of leadership. When you have leaders who cannot make decisions, when you have leaders who are watermelons in decision making, when you have leaders who are clueless, rudderless, visionless. Honorable Speaker, when you have such leaders, we lose the plot because they will not tell people where they want to move people to. All they can do is to look at the plans of others and poke holes in the plans of others. Please, for once, offer Kenyans an alternative. And I'm saying that, Honorable Speaker, because I saw some clueless governor of one of those purported Zo party leaders saying the other day that it is indeed true, hatuna agenda yetu ni kupeleka Ruto nyumbani. Then I asked myself, okay, Ruto goes home every day. Then what for Kenyans, Honorable Speaker? And that's why I have also been very bold at times to tell these members of parliament, fear not when people tell you, oh, 2027 home. Which home? You go home every day. You are elected leaders to make decisions on behalf of the people of Kenya. And you must be bold and courageous when you are making decisions on behalf of the people, so long as you are doing it in their best interest. And I want to believe that is why the President was commending the 13th Parliament, because you have made bold decisions in the best interest of the people of Kenya. When I see the rise of affordable housing units in Mukuru, Honorable Speaker, and Mukuru, by the way, is a very small fraction of what is being done. When you fly over Kibra, you can see the transformation that Kibra is going through. You can see the demolitions that are going on along Jogoo Road, I've forgotten the name of that estate. Makongeni estate, Honorable Speaker. Makongeni will probably be 4 or 5 times the size of Mukuru. Sports stadia across the country, Honorable Speaker. Sports academies in our villages, tapping on the talent of our youth, so that those who misuse our youth, because I've seen grandfathers calling themselves, oh, I am the leader of Gen Z. How can you lead a generation that you don't even understand? How can you lead a generation which you even have no plan for, or you have no vision of how you can transform their country for the benefit of these young people? The transformation, Honorable Speaker, that is happening across our country. Honorable Speaker, whenever I travel around the country, whether it's from Kapsabet to Kakamega, to Lokichogi, Honorable Speaker, to Mbere North, where I was yesterday, Honorable Speaker, to Embu, to Nyeri, they are hallmarks of the actual transformation that is going on, whether it is in housing, whether it is in roads being built, Honorable Speaker, roads, some that stalled way back in 2015, 2016, today are being reconstructed because of the bold decisions that this House made some years back, Honorable Speaker. We are the people, we are the leaders who hold the future of our children and our young people in our hands based on the decisions that we make. And that's why, Honorable Speaker, I've said, I join the President in commending this House, that amidst all that pessimism, amidst all the negativity, the bad-mouthing, the negativity, the misinformation, the disinformation, this House stood. And as the President said, we will have a paragraph as a House when finally the history of this country is rewritten on how we moved our country from a third world to a first world country when we enacted laws that created the housing fund, when we enacted laws that transformed the health architecture of our country to ensure that every Kenyan across the nation, Honorable Speaker, can access universal health coverage. That, Honorable Speaker, in far-flung corners of this country where they never knew what a tarmac road is, they will be able to see tarmac roads like those in Kitui, those in the Matiliku Road, Emali Matiliku Road, which I saw the former Vice President doing some content creation along the road. And I want to invite Honorable Kalonzo Musyoka to please go back to the same road and do another content creation episode and show the people now that the road is being done. Go to Emali Ukia, show people that the road is actually being done. But you know, Honorable Speaker, when I say what has bedeviled this country, Honorable Speaker, is poor leadership.